Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. Hope everyone's doing good, hope everyone's doing well. Weren't expecting this weekend, a massive, lengthy statement released by the Algerian Football Association, essentially telling us exactly what's happened since day one. Seems like FAF were annoyed that French media came out and said the case was closed, that they said a lot of fake news was going around. So I'm just going to kick this off with reading this statement to you. It was on the FAF website. Of course, everyone's trying to read it, and then their website's crashed, but I've managed to grab hold of it just before the website went down. So here is that statement. Brace yourself. Like I said, it's quite long. In order, this is the FAF. In order to enlighten the sporting opinion in general and the supporters of the national team, that's us lot in particular, and to put a stop to speculation, some of which went beyond the purely sporting and regulatory framework, about the claim related to the refereeing of the match Algeria-Cameroon on March 29, 2022, counting for the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, Qatar. The Federation of Algerian Football would like to provide the following clarifications. Here we go. This is from the horse's mouth. This is direct. This isn't rumours. On the day after this match, on Wednesday, March 30th, 2022, the Federation of the Algerian football team had submitted to the General Secretary of FIFA a complaint file regarding the refereeing of this match, accompanied by a letter with reference number 442 SG FAF 2020. Following this request, FIFA had submitted to FAF an email on April 5th, 2022, saying that the claim submitted by the FAF had been submitted to the FIFA Disciplinary Committee, who have been programmed to examine this on April 21st. It should be noted that through this statement, FIFA did not mean that it was going to deliver a verdict on April 21st, as reported by some media. Earlier, on Monday, April 4th, 2022, the FAF had again spoke to FIFA by email to introduce an expertise of a specialist agency reputable for working with referees. If you watched a video a few weeks ago, you'll have seen me explaining the case, and then we got an external company to look at refereeing decisions and to analyse decisions made in the game. So we got someone external rather than us saying ourselves these are the wrong decisions. Here is a conclusion from the expertise. According to the technical and scientific evaluations provided in the expert reports, they showed that the arbitration between Algeria and Cameroon was suspect. The imbalance between the two teams for the wrong calls by the referee and the total number of incorrect calls were 3 that directly influenced the outcome of this professional football match. So they're saying there were 3 wrong calls, and they were, it says here, the validated penalty, not whistled, for Algeria. I wonder what validated penalty they're talking about. Can anyone remember? We had a few half-hearted penalty appeals. Did anyone sort of want to comment what penalty appeal you think they're referring to that Algeria weren't given? The invalid goal accepted by Cameroon, that's when Mandy was pushed, and the validated goal cancelled, that's Algeria's Slimani goal, which was accused of handball, significantly influenced the game to Cameroon's advantage, and all of these can be explained scientifically with video analysis. Further investigations would be needed to determine whether this match was intentional or just not at the level of good refereeing. April 1st, contrary to what had been reported here and there, FIFA Disciplinary Committee has never rejected the claim introduced by Algerian Football Federation. The latter, that's the Football Federation, decided to file a new complaint. However, this was to the Refereeing Committee on April 10th, 2022, reference number 476 SG FAF 2021. Therefore, FIFA informed on Monday, April 11th, 2022, the Federation of the Algerian Football Team on behalf of the President of the FIFA Disciplinary Commission that this procedure is therefore closed, because it was then moved on to the FIFA Refereeing Committee. On Friday, May the 6th, the Algerian Football Federation received an email from the head of the refereeing committee, Pierluigi Collina, that's the Italian bald guy, who unfortunately did not respond to any requests introduced in Algeria's claims file. There too, and unlike the fake information spread by some parties, this email does not contain several pages, much less answers and explanations about the points raised in the claim. This was the total and final email received. As an exception and for greater transparency, here is the email from FIFA, which explains, by the way, the content of the FAF statement published on the evening of Friday, May the 6th. This is in the email. Considering that the claim file is heavy and significant through the attached videos and above all the expertise of a specialised agency, the Federation of Algerian Football reiterated its request to the Commissioner of Referees on FIFA on Saturday, May the 7th, 2022. The match refereeing was never responded in FIFA's response, while the FAF claims and refers to situations considered disputed for which the Federal Court would have wanted clear and accurate answers. Also, FIFA's refereeing committee does not mention whether the head referee had properly applied the laws of the game and adhered to the VAR protocols highlighted in our email. The conclusions of the examination of all the incidents carried out by the two VAR referees in accordance with the laws of the game and the protocol of video to assist arbitration. Access to recorded audio communications between the head referee and the other referees, that's the assistant and VAR, was left without access. On the other hand, and in order to complete on this file, the FAF also wants to inform that the referee's match report contains no particular remarks except for the English word good, which describes the condition of the field and the facilities. The report of the commissioner of the match on his part includes other things in his assessments. General organisation good, condition of the ground good, security good, police good, medical services good, etc, etc. And then you've got a few incidents caused by the fans, which is hence why the projectile thrown resulted in the Algerian Football Federation being fined by the FIFA Disciplinary Committee 3,000 Swiss francs, which we know about. This sanction has nothing to do with the handling of the claim file, as some parties have tried to admit, confusing two completely different cases. Here's a conclusion from the FAF. Conclusion now. From the above, the Football Federation in Algeria has made a duty and principle to take on FIFA to shed light on what it considers to be a suspicious arbitration by the referee of this match and its impact on the outcome. This is the key line now. This is the most important line I'm going to read you. The Federal Court, that's Algeria FA, is still waiting for a clear and objective response to this claim. That means that they're claiming that we have not had a definitive response to this appeal. FAF say we're still waiting for, and this is their words, they use the words clear, they use the word still waiting, clear, objective response to this claim. They're claiming that they haven't shut the door on it. So, that's interesting. Beyond the facts of the game, mistakes that can occur and are committed by referees and players which can influence the course and or the outcome of a match, the Federation in its regulatory approach football does not and benevolent discuss neither the opponent nor any other party except the shut at arbitration. Apart from the technical elements in the possession and introduced, including videos and an expert report, Algerian football players and the Federation has never received a single piece of evidence from any other sources. Acting within the strict regulatory framework conferred upon by the FIFA laws of the game and procedures applied, the Federation is not at any time responsible for the declarations made by third parties. Basically, that's a long-winded way of saying if you see these Arabic French football websites posting stuff, it's not true. It only comes from them for it to be true. All parties who have expressed themselves on this issue bear full responsibility for their statements, publications and clarifications. However, Algerian Football Federation pays their tribute to all those, particularly to our supporters who express their support and showed a positive and responsible attitude to defend the welfare of this claim. So, lengthy statement, a lot of it's confusing, a lot of fancy words, but the bottom line, the key things to take from it is that this FAF believes they haven't heard a definitive response, considering how much they poured into that to just get a few lines back, and then I think there's some sort of blurred lines in between. So what do you guys make of this statement? Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.